Hey guys, what's going on? This is Roth. I am at New York Comic Con with Michael J. White and Carl Jones of Black Dynamite. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So, I want to start with the season opener. The title is Roots, a honky album. What can you tell me about that?
Roots, the honky album. I actually like that better. It's Roots, the white album, but that's funny.
Well, that's what I read. That's what they have.
Really?
Yeah.
They have Roots, the honky album?
I like my way better, too.
That's hysterical. Okay. Roots, the honky album. It's what happens?
Are you fixing the show?
What's right?
Well.
That's really funny. I didn't know about that. I didn't get the memo. So, no, the episode is about how the black community watches Roots, the miniseries, for the first time, and they discover how harsh slavery really was. And so, with Al Sharpton's help, they decide to go to Beverly Hills and start kidnapping white people for payback. And they enslave them in the black community, but they didn't realize how much hard work oppression is. So it becomes like almost more of a burden to keep the slaves.
You know, these episodes are amazing. They're hilarious, but they're also sort of they find a way to kind of like South Park make great social commentary wrapped up in this hilarious episode. But you go to some pretty risky places. Have there been some things that they've pulled you back on and said you can't do that?
Well, there's the penis mushroom thing.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
that was more so his deal that he had to do. Well, I think we should probably explain that now.
The penis mushroom.
Should we?
Well,
let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we had a parody. We did an episode called Bullhorn Nights, and it was like we did a porn parody called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And so in Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, he had a bunch of mushrooms that looked like penises. And it's not my fault that mushrooms look like penises, but the network, they had a problem with it. So we were fighting over each penis mushroom. Like, is that the meatus? But they were cool. With everything else, pretty much. That was about it.
You also take some.
Mushrooms look like some penises.
Some penises.
Yeah, we want to be clear about
I
that.
only speak for my own.
Yeah.
You guys also take some liberties with history, even starting with the first episode, with retelling history of certain celebrities. How do you pick the celebrities that you want to kind of include? Are you ever worried about negative responses?
Well, we were worried about that a possible negative response with the Michael Jackson episode, but lampooning the most famous person who ever lived and getting through it with really no backlash whatsoever.
It's because it's hilarious.
Well, thank you. I mean, that was an accomplishment. I think that gave us the green light to go crazy this time.
So what can you tease, speaking of going crazy this time, what can you sort of tease that you've got coming up? Who are you going after this year?
Everybody. We're going after a whole lot of people. There's going to be we got some great cameo voices. And we're gonna, hopefully get sued by a few people.
Bill Cosby is one of them, but definitely Bill Cosby. We're looking forward to all the lawsuits.
Yeah.
Does he get his own episode?
Yeah, he does. He does. He gets more than his own episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys, what's sort of the process? Is there any improvisation? Is everything really tightly written? The jokes feel pretty tight to me, so I was kind of curious about that.
Well, there's a skeletal structure, and then along with that, you can kind of, branch off. We have a lot of great improvisational actors on board, and so that's part of the fun of this whole thing. And we have a storyline, but that improvisation that supports that storyline is really encouraged.
One of the things that some fans have been wondering is in terms of the timeline with the movie and the show, there's some characters that died in the film that are, spoiler alert, that are alive in the show. Is it take place before the film, or how does that all work?
Well, no, it takes place after that's the first time anybody ever asked me that question. Yeah. I think it takes place after the film. And I don't think people are terribly worried about resurrecting folks that are dead. I don't think it's that type of show.
Yeah. I
mean, you're mentioning the whole South Park thing. I think they paved the way with the whole Kenny thing.
Right.
So, I mean, I think all bets are off.
Can you tease anything about Black Dynamite 2?
Black Dynamite 2, I mean, can't say too much about it, but I mean, we are working on the next rendition of our Black exploitive kind of movie kind of trilogy that I intended. The next one is not Black Dynamite, but it's one of the three.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It's like my intention in the first place was Black Dynamite was going to be one of the black exploitation kind of, revisited. Okay. And there's another two, and the next one we're kind of putting together.
What is the storyline or cameo that you are most looking forward to fans seeing this coming season?
Oh man, we have a hour-long special. It's a season finale called "The Wizard of Watts," and it's a really we call it the blacker version of the Wiz. So if you can go any blacker than that, that's what you get.
It's so amazing. All right, we're big notes around here, so I gotta ask you, when might we see you pop back up on Aereo, and might we see a little bit about the Suicide Squad and how they function?
Well, I'm in the point me mode right there. I mean, I'm down to do it. I enjoy working on that show, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's almost like it's on a top secret kind of mission thing, and I get a knock at my door, and they slip a script under it, and have to report at 800 hours. It's like that type of thing.
Is there anything sort of as a martial artist or as an actor that you really wanted to explore with that character that you haven't yet?
Oh yeah, I'd like Bronze Tiger to really get some stuff to do. I mean, really kind of push him. That'd be cool. I'd like a Bronze Tiger episode if possible. I mean, and especially with the Suicide Squad, I think there's an option to do some really cool stuff, really hard, edgier stuff, because they're set up that way. It's a darker unit, and so you can do some questionable things. And I think the fans would really enjoy something like that, something that's just right on that line of good and bad.
They'd enjoy its own series, maybe. Might we ever see a return of a Mortal Kombat season?
I believe that's in the works as well. I believe so, but it's like some of these things are beyond my reach. But I'm waiting for a knock at the door and a script sliding under the doors. I'm just in that mode, But I'm really focused on the things that I'm creating myself. Yeah.
Tell the people when they can see the return of Black Dynamite. When can we see that?
October 18th at 10:30 on Adult Swim.
That's awesome. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. It's really super funny and smart and awesome and sharp.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. For all things Black Dynamite and New York Comic Cons, keep it locked right here to IGN.